Wait. No, just kidding. Welcome back to the first, the last, the Nerdom, the podcast where we explore the first, the last, and everything in between across film, television, and pop culture. And once again, we're stepping into one of our favorite experiments, Binge-Worthy? Question mark. The setup is simple. You probably already know it by now. If you're a fan of the show, we pick a TV show we've been curious about or meaning to revisit, watch the first 3 episodes, and then decide whether it earns a full binge or if it leaves us questioning whether to continue. This week, we're diving into the quiet, eerie, and deeply philosophical world of DEVS. Created by Alex Garland, a favorite of the channel, DEVS is a slow burn sci-fi series that blends cutting-edge technology with big existential questions. Set inside a mysterious tech company, the show follows a software engineer investigating her boyfriend's sudden disappearance, a search that leads her into a secretive division, working on something that may challenge the very nature of reality itself. In those first three episodes, DEVS builds an atmosphere of unease and inevitability, mixing minimalist visuals, haunting sound design, and a dense philosophical ideas about determinism, free will, and the illusion of choice. We'll be breaking down whether that slow, methodical pacing draws us in or keeps us at a distance, how effective the mystery is, and whether DEVS has the kind of pull that makes it truly binge-worthy, or if it's a show better contemplated one episode at a time. So step into the code, question your choices, and remember, everything might already be decided. This is binge-worthy, question mark. This is the first, the last of Nerdom, and this week we're entering DEVS. How's it going, Mike? I'm Tom
Hey,
here
Tom.
with you.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I was pleasantly surprised by a few of the entries on this week for our show material for Binge-Worthy, as well as our other shows. And speaking of other shows, we have our website back up. Kind of, sort of. It's going to change, but it's up there. And firstlastnerdom.com. We'd love it if you give us a ring or visited us. But we would really, really love it if you did. If you found us on YouTube, we thank you so much. And if you subscribed or liked our film or liked one of our videos or commented on one, we thank you very much.
Yep. Yeah, we had
And
a very enthusiastic person write to us on Wild Palms, gave us left us with a nice little comment and said he subscribed. So we very much appreciate that. Hope you enjoy our continued output. But yeah, that was fun to see. So shout out to you. Looks like they had a channel as well, so check them out. And but yeah, we have a bunch of different videos, and then yeah, kind of a interesting
very
channel.
cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, we've got various videos. We cover television, the printed page, and movies. So there's probably going to be something on there that you might like as well if you check it out. I guess we're going to get into our socials. I'm on
Oh
Reddit
yeah.
under first last Nerdum. And so if you're coming over from Reddit, thanks for checking us out. I try to promote on related subreddits that will let me post or don't delete me. So there you go. I'm also on X under first last Nerdum. If you want to know what our latest video is, you can check it out there. Also do a little ramblings as far as maybe various things I like music and whatnot.
Okay.
I keep that to a minimum, but I don't flood the channel. But there's that. Also, Mike's on his socials as well.
I am. Yeah, I too am on X at fucking Jewish underscore, where you can find me. A man astride a donkey turned the wrong way. Or is the world turned the right way? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. But here we are. What does make sense, Alex Garland, totally blind to this. Totally. And I remember kind of just dismissing it because it just had a very generic name, dev and technology at the time. And Tom and I are in technology. And sometimes sometimes I just see something tech related and I just I just ignore it,
push it
but
away. It's like,
yeah.
well, when you get done with work, it's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to watch something that reminds me of work. That's not a good idea. But yeah, this is
But not
I,
that at all.
absolutely not. Yeah, I guess I'd seen that it was by Alex Garland, and I've been a fan of Alex Garland for decades now. I guess back in the 2000s, I was back on his fan with as a fan of him back when he was a writer and he wrote the book The Beach that the Danny Boyle, his collaborator, directed a movie version of it, but I read the book first. And then Alex has gone on to do scripts. He's actually did some development on video games as well. Came up with ideas, and he's kind of switched over to directing with Dread, and he's become an accomplished director as well. But in this, you get the big combo of him writing and directing all of the 8 episodes on this thing, and I just fell in love with this show, and I absolutely love it. It was fun to revisit it this time, but you like you were saying, this is your first foray into
Yeah,
this, and I've you've were kind of a virgin to Alex Garland at the beginning of this channel, but I think
I was.
I've won you over to Alex.
Yeah, and the common theme was that movies that I had always loved. Turns out he had some kind of hand in a writing through, and it just made it instantaneous. For the other films that we had. It's big check mark on the sci-fi, big check mark on just about everything he's done. It's been iconic. Whether you're original OG like Tom and you saw him grow over his career, I'm a little bit late to the game. Not too late, but late, much later than early. And I just wish I would have paid attention to this mini series that became its own kind of thing. And actually, you talk about a lot of things are ahead of their time. This is one that this is so hard to do technology and or science fiction and set it in a semi modern, not too distant from today, kind of sort of far out there, but not, we're not 20, 30, 50, with spaceships zooming around. Much more grounded and pedestrian than that. But doesn't take too long before it completely it strips you down. I'm like you slowly get into this rhythm. And actually, this is one of those. If I really like something, I typically go over because we do the first 3 episodes here, and
Mhm.
sometimes we'll go back and we'll do the last, and then sometimes we'll cover the middle. But this is one that I ended up just having I had to stop watching it at episode 5 because I don't want to. Weird because I can enjoy it in enjoy mode and I can do it in analytical and enjoy mode too, but if I do it, then I get a little territorial. Uh, I'm like, I want to stop. I want to watch this, but I really want to watch it and really enjoy it. And the pacing it gets there. But anyway, they're kind of setting it up first. You get into the setup. The guy who did Ex Machina, he made an 8-hour movie about whether certain things are fate, or is there some true choice in there somewhere along the way, but
Yeah.
anyway, I'll throw
Are
it back
we,
to you.
yeah, are we going down our predetermined path, or do we have
Yeah,
a
I don't want to get too much. Yeah.
choice into choice into things? Yeah. Um yeah, so yeah, I was amped up, prepared for this, and was quite surprised by it. I will say we kind of tend it's not by design. Maybe this is predetermined, I don't know, but on our binge worthy, we kind of go down our paths. Like when we started the channel, or started the series, we kind of stayed with British shows, British comedies for a long time, and now we've kind of switched over to our recent ventures, kind of sci-fi tech shows. We sort of started it with Mr. Robot, and then we went to Max Headroom, and Mike threw in Wild Palms, and now we're circling back to Devs. It's Max Headroom sort of kind of kicked us off on an interesting tech path, and which led to Wild Palms, which eventually down the road led to Mr. Robot, and now we have Devs, a very accomplished. Like you said, this is an 8-hour movie. This is high production, very well done. This isn't your dad's TV. This is this is a TV of the future. This isn't the kind of quality that you don't normally get. And it's something you kind of appreciate as you're watching it, but you're also enjoying it. In that first episode, it kind of gets you. It doesn't go too crazy into its themes until kind of like the end. It kind of cushions you in. You kind of at the beginning you think maybe it's sort of like just a kind of a tech show with kind of a interesting relationship between this couple that work in this AI kind of tech company, and with this weird kind of eccentric head guy, sort of like a Steve Jobs, but maybe a little bit weirder.
Well,
uh,
a little bit more indented by life, for sure.
mhm.
Like there's definitely some very
He
deep,
has
deep.
demons, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, that, yeah, and it's very apparent too. What the
uh-huh.
he has a very unique. Nick Offerman is who we're talking about.
Uh-huh.
You essentially have Ron Swanson, but that Ron Swanson's dead. He plays Forrest. He is not all. I don't want to say too much, but he is brilliant, but he's also not all there either. There's a little bit of him. There's one film that I really
He
love.
always seems distracted.
Yeah, well, he's not there, and he's in the sense of like we caught a film called You Were Never Really There, and that with
Joaquin, yeah.
Walking Phoenix. Thank you,
Uh,
Walking Phoenix, and I got there's just there's a depth there that something it happened very, very bad. But
yeah.
anyway, he is a excellent actor in this, and plays his way. And this also touches on something I like, which is not only the sci-fi and a little bit of the Silicon Valley, a little bit on the darker side, but
Hmm.
you can see Garland. He returns to some themes are kind of similar throughout that are there, but he it's not everything when he writes something, it's unique, it's interesting, it covers it from a completely different point of view. Anyway, the point is that you see him, he's very hollow, and he is damaged.
Yeah. But driven as well. He's
But
got to focus. Yeah.
very,
And
very driven, even more so than the loss that we're talking about, talking around, I should say.
right, exactly. Yeah, he's willing to do anything to protect it as well. But yeah, so yeah, the devs are not your typical devs. They're developing something that even the government's interested in, that they don't quite know what's going on. And so yeah, we're introduced to a couple, American Chinese lady and a recent coming over, a Russian guy, and the Russian guy, he gets
Sergey.
invited. Sergey is invited over to the devs team. That's what takes place in the first episode, and so it's his journey over into the devs, and we get introduced to just a glimpse, a little taste of what the devs are up to. And Sergey is very taken with it. And I don't know how spoilery we're going to get, but yeah, basically turns out he may be a bit of a spy, a sneaky spy, and he has a little spike camera on his wrist there, and so that kind of throws a monkey wrench into the whole thing. And he disappears
Right.
under different mysterious circumstances, and his girlfriend, who also works at the company, decides to do a little investigation because she thinks things are a little sus. That Sergey is left under. They showed the camera footage of him leaving, but there's something a little off
Well,
about it.
well, they don't take too long, and then you start to get to see something isn't quite right. And then all of a sudden we meet Lily, and we see the anguish there, and we see this kind of this what do we see? A little bit of a mystery is afoot.
Yep.
Not only with the spy plot line, but also with the just the what the hell? Yeah.
Yeah, and and I kind of had a weird thought. I was like, those tech thrillers from the '90s and then the 2000s, the aughts. It's like those movies tried to be cool on the tech edge, but even at the time they came off as to me kind of goofy and just kind of silly. They just it was made by people that didn't understand technology, and I kind of made fun of them as clack clack we're in kind of thing, kind of movies.
Yeah.
They just they're kind of fun to watch, but in a kind of a goofy popcorn sort of sense. But they don't
Okay.
really, yeah, they don't really dig into the meat of what they're trying to get at. Whereas oddly enough, a lot of times it was television shows with tech that kind of gets it right in a weird way, even going as far back as Max Headroom. They were kind of dealing with ideas, and you could say maybe the same to some of the episodes of Doctor Who. It kind of gets into these philosophical questions. But yeah, Dev is sort of like the culmination, the pinnacle of what this can be. And there's a sense of real weight to it. You maybe could say that it kind of takes itself a little too seriously, but there is kind of light moments. There's the homeless guy that hangs out in front of Lily's apartment. That gives a little bit of levity, and her ex-boyfriend very much is sort of like our because Lily is sort of like very passionate straight off, and
Right.
I kind of I was kind of on the outside of Lily, kind of looking in. There's a little bit of a mystery to her as well, as
There
far
is.
as her motivations. But her
Right.
ex-boyfriend is that hook that kind of hooks you in, because we're kind of in his perspective of what the fuck.
Right. Right. Well, you say philosophical, and it is you combine the two, philosophical sci-fi, like other ones that we've covered, like Under the Skin, Ex
Uh-huh.
Machina 2, Arrival. We have not covered that, but
Mhm.
those are kind of some of the ones that have that hard hitting, that critical success, which this obviously had, but also had, it doesn't take long before you to kind of find something very unique to like about this. So like whether it's her or it's Nick, or it's, evil tech, it's not hard, but this isn't quite evil tech quite as it seems like. Again, it's taken very seriously, and it's taken in a
Well,
different way
well,
than you.
actually, is tech ever evil? It's how you use it that's evil.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
It's those pesky humans that always messes it up. We should destroy them. Oh wait,
Right.
destroy
Wait,
the
no.
humans. Yeah.
Yeah. No, wait. Tom's pro-human. Tom is very, very
Yes,
pro-human.
yeah. Let me fix my programming. With a refreshing beverage, I do not have
Right.
my normal Seven Up
Normal.
tropical. I am trying. I'm kind of in love with this, but it has the worst name. Prebiotic cola, Pepsi Cola.
Okay. Interesting.
It's it's only 30 calories, no artificial flavor. It's like it's a mix of sugar, cane sugar, and stevia, which evidently
Interesting.
stevia is natural. But I've never heard stevia before. It kind of sounds like a guy named Steve trying to do a fantasy name based off his name. But it does have stevia in it. It's
Right.
I'm growing to enjoy this. It does taste a lot like Pepsi, but with a little bit of weird kind of taste to it. But it
Yeah.
doesn't have that normal diet aftertaste to it.
Right. Right.
So I've been enjoying it. So I might go back to my tropical, but for now I'm enjoying a cool, refreshing prebiotic Pepsi.
Right on. Right on. Right on.
It seems kind
Yeah.
of techy sounding, so it kind of works with the show.
Well, it is a new dawn,
Hmm.
golden dawn, for LLMs and AI.
Uh-huh.
And this, like I said, this takes things in it, and it's definitely more about the humans involved, and what the humans do to each other. That is the interesting part. And I can kind of mention, I didn't really talk about it too much, but there's a little bit of that mystery there that sets up the first one. You have essentially you have the setup, which is episode one,
Hmm.
and then you have, this investigation that kind of kicks off the wider part that we're
Hmm.
interested in, or that show couches us in. And then, it kind of goes from there. I could see where the pacing could be not there for some people. It does take a minute, but I think just like last week too, with the in-betweeners, like the first ones, they do get there eventually, or also Wild Palms as well, because that was kind of like a one-off series too. It
Hmm.
does, if you give it time, it does pay off, and it is worth it. So if you maybe not quite getting in there for that, but like once you do, by the third episode, if you don't like it, you're probably not gonna like it. I mean, it's probably true within the first half hour too, I would say,
I
of
think
the
I think if you're not gripped by Nick Offerman's portrayal of Forrest by the end of the first episode, you're probably
yeah.
not gonna, because that's sort of the star of the thing. Obviously Lily's the main protagonist of the piece, but Nick
That's
Offerman,
fine.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's yeah, she does a great job, but there's a bit of a mystery to her. She's sort of opaque as far as her of who she is. The more you find out about her, the more interesting she becomes. But yeah, Nick Offerman's Forrest is interesting from the get go. I think he consciously kind of changed his look from Parks and Rec. I was kind of thinking about it. Comedic actors that do serious roles. Going back to Robin Williams and Jim Carrey. You kind of you kind of they kind of have to change their look, or because if they look exactly like, if Jim Carrey showed up looking like Ace Ventura in yeah, Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, it might have not have worked. But yeah, so Nick Offerman, he's got a very different look to this, and you immediately are intrigued by his character, and you want to know more. At least I was. But yeah, it really shines that he's a quality actor. And I would make the statement that any really good comedic actor is also a great serious actor as well, because to be able to go to the extremes that comedy requires you, just makes sense that they would be able to go to in the opposite, and is it truly opposite, way to be serious. I think it may be even easier to be serious than it is to to lose the I guess the you kind of have to lose yourself to become very, very funny and kind of goofy on camera. You kind of can't take yourself seriously, so then you could probably switch on more easily and become serious.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting, interesting. Did you like one? I guess I was going to ask you. So this is presumably you saw this when it came out, and this
Yeah,
is the rewatch for you, right? Right.
right, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Did your opinion change between watching the first time and kind of everything being new versus this time around kind of as a rewatch for a momentum or what hooked you or maybe something else the second time around or third time? Could be, who knows?
Yeah, it came out in 2020. So it's been roughly about 5 years. No, I kind of I remember really really enjoying it. But I kind of forgot the. I remembered the major beats of it, but like the the what sort of like the the smaller details of it I'd kind of forgotten. So yeah, it was kind of a surprise, like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense, because I'd misremembered some of it. So it was interesting to go back and go, oh okay, so this, it was kind of clear. Yeah, I thought there was kind of a mystery of whether or not Sergey at the beginning was a spy, but it is pretty obvious off the bat that what's going on. So I had kind of misremembered some of it, and I'd forgotten about the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, which is a major part of it. But yeah, it was kind of interesting rewatching it. No, it's such a top quality that you appreciate it from your first viewing, and then you just kind of appreciate it again on your
Right.
second viewing. This is premiere television. This is a show that kind of keeps me from watching more television, because it's such a top quality that when you watch just your average television show, you're like, why am I wasting my time with this?
Mhm.
I could be watching devs, or I could be watching a really cool movie, or
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
or even a lesser quality movie, but it's only going to be a hour and a half or two
Well,
hours, and
right.
if I'm going to invest my time into into a television show that takes up 8 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours, it needs to be something worth watching. And maybe I'm just being a little, on my high horse, but sitting backwards like you. But but I don't know. And I'm not browbeating, or thumbing my nose at reality television shows, or
Right.
there is a place for that. Sometimes you want to, in real life, you don't want a meaty dinner. You want a bag of chips, and sometimes reality television is that bag of chips that you could just kind of turn your brain off to and watch. Some people love watching wrestling, and used to I used to be honest, I used to thumb my nose at them, but I realize there's a very much a similarity between wrestling and comic books. There's that.
Right.
You know, there's sort of like that escapism, that in kind of believing in a hero and villain that's just kind of melodramatic and kind of over the top, and it makes sense. But yeah, this just really kind of devs kind of drills into what television can be. And if I'm just going to watch, um, I want to watch this as opposed to sort of something that's just kind of half-hearted.
Yeah, yeah. I would say I would give a warning to the audience too. This is like really good high quality. This is beyond prestige TV. I would say this is like I said, 8 hour movie, essentially,
Uh-huh.
and it's
Uh-huh.
complete end to end. There is no season two or three or four or five or infinity. And it's not a background show. You cannot put this on a background and then expect to come back to it and know what's going on. It's not going to work
No,
whatsoever.
no.
Um, because it is every scene is tightly linked to the next, and they spend some time on some of these scenes. Like they spend their sweet time, and it's good. But again, that tone that this show demands your attention span. Period.
Uh-huh.
I think that's the best way to put it. And you want to do. I agree with you too on the choice of entertainment. I like my dumb little things where I want to laugh. I want to laugh like a tires. Totally
Uh-huh.
dumb show that I totally
Uh-huh.
didn't know anything about, and somebody had the friend mentioned it to me, and then hey, you should really watch this, and I did. And what it is, it's exactly like what a dumb comedy kind of sort of sketch show that you would have seen. Not really a
Uh-huh.
sketch show, but it is definitely. sketch comedians doing a normal kind of episodic show that doesn't make any sense, but it's not too hard on that. But
Mhm.
people like what they like, and but this is, again, I agree with you. This is like, why screw around with this like when it was there? And I'm so glad I didn't know what this thing was, so I could eventually discover it, and hopefully other people out there will discover some of these really, really good, high quality shows.
Mhm.
Very good. And right after this one, he wrote and directed every episode of this, which is
Mhm.
very
Yeah.
rare
Yeah,
when it comes
absolutely.
to
All
that
right.
level of a budget in a film, and getting it there. So
Very much like Sam Esmail and with Mr. Robot. So that another show that has a singular vision. I would say that if you like
agreed.
Mr.
Yeah,
Robot, you're gonna love Devs.
they're they're not far apart. They're simpatico with what they do, different things differently for sure.
Mhm, right. Yeah, yeah.
But
And different tones and different vibes, but yeah, very much in that sci-fi realm, tech realm.
and yeah, and I have watched quite a few more of Mr. Robot since we covered it a few not too long ago. But
Mhm,
also these also kind of, both of them kind of put this thing right in front of you. And I'm not going to say what that is, but if you flip between the shows, they wanted you to see certain kind of things in certain kind of ways, patterned in a certain
mhm,
way, and that's for a reason. It's
mhm,
the halos. That's something
mhm,
there. It's kind of
mhm,
a big wink, and a nod a little bit. But it makes sense, but not in a disgusting way either. In a way that is natural and you take in with this
mhm.
as you learn more.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also say if you like Black Mirror, this is sort of like an 8-hour episode of Black Mirror.
Good way to put it. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
very true. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got an interesting take on things. It takes it through all the way through. I will no spoilers. But it maintains the quality, and you would expect that from from a singular written piece directed by the same guy throughout. You'd get the same quality throughout. That's one of the drawbacks of a television usually, is that you have multiple writers, multiple directors, so the quality of episode to episode can sometimes vary quite dramatically in some cases, but this one is a singular vision, so you get that quality through the whole series. Nick Offerman is constantly kind of a surprising. You're constantly finding different aspects of him. That at times you're like, is he the bad guy? Is he the good guy? Is what's going on with him? I think there's shades of gray to everybody in this. Lily is one of the much like a lot of tech people, she's always kind of poking and prodding at things, and maybe sometimes she probably should think a little bit more before she starts prodding. but but it's that curiosity that kills the cat, so to speak. So and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, this show is constantly having you ask questions, and very philosophical. You're constantly asking yourself, what would you do in that situation? What what is going on here? You're constantly in it is so sort of like a blossoming flower. It's constantly opening up to you and revealing things that kind of surprise you, and you're not expecting, even though you kind of understand the premise of it immediately. It keeps revealing different aspects to it as it goes along. At one point it kind of makes you think it might be sort of a espionage spy thing, but maybe it's not. It pulls some turns and makes some surprising changes along the way to where it's not something you've seen before.
Yeah, the I could see where I guess this most reminds me of when they did The Last of Us. He was like a minor character on that,
Uh-huh.
off on the side. Kind of
Uh-huh.
what it reminded me of. Of course,
Uh-huh.
I saw that and I saw it backwards. I saw that version of Nick Offerman first, than this one. But
Uh-huh.
this one is a little bit more. it's a completely different character, and he does a pretty good. Well, and this also didn't. The other thing that kind of went against it too, and it wasn't just me that missed it. It was some. The show should be bigger than what it is now, and
Uh-huh.
that's because of COVID. Like that happened with COVID, so it kind of buried the potentiality of it going. But it's still it is visually beautiful. And the thing too that I kind of caught on was, and I kind of talked about it a little bit, but there, when you're in a scene, when you're inside their company, like inside it, like where Sergey was in, like head inside, it's gold. Everything is very, very stylized a certain kind of way.
Mhm.
And then when you kind of go out of that, you know, you go to, they have their offices, which are kind of, you know, their own level of sterility. And then you have just the regular world, it's kind of gray, you know, and it's kind of just,
Yeah, although
if it,
in the outside world you do get these pops like that, the
oh,
statue
that's
of
right.
the little girl.
No, that's right. Right, 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 right.
Where it's sort of like it's very very startling and kind of surprising to see that little girl on the horizon kind of peeking over the trees.
Right. Well, it's also kind of, mm, I don't want to give too much. I mean, because it goes down a path, and there's only
Mhm.
kind of like one way.
Yeah,
What I don't want to get hung up on that.
right.
But it gives you just enough to whet your appetite to want to keep going. Like Tom was saying, you think it's might be some spy. Okay, this is the spy thing, and then you kind of have the reluctant detective, which is played by Lily, you know,
Mhm.
and then it's kind of changed what from one link to the next is it's solid. Like
Mhm.
there's just no way that you can get in between that, and it works. It works.
Mhm.
The Lily kind of, I don't I don't know. She's just kind of like one, like where the like if you got to watch her quite a bit, like, and then she
Mhm.
grows on you, like
Right.
as her
Yeah. She
character
doesn't
grows.
immediately. She's not immediately appealing.
Right. And that's intentional too,
Right.
because
Yeah.
you don't quite know what's going on. You know, you kind of like,
Mhm.
you see this guy and this thing happen. Doesn't really make sense either. I mean, it's kind of
Mhm.
very unusual. Like they kind of,
Mhm.
I'm not
Mhm.
giving too much away here because it's already suspected, but you know, it's kind of like you would think, like for a company that would be about deterministic this or that or whatever, like you would think like maybe try to not do something so fucking flamboyant to like where it just fucking sticks out like a sore thumb anyway, that calls attention to it. But anyway, you'll know what I'm talking about after the first episode, so it's not like really
Right. Yeah.
pushing too much out as a spoiler, but
Uh-huh.
it does intriguing though. Anyway, but it works for me, and it got me hooked, and I had
Yep.
to stop watching it. Like I had to physically stop myself from
Mhm.
watching more because
Yeah.
it just it pulls you in, and but
Yeah.
before you know it,
Yeah. It's
pretty good.
kind of definitely answers the question whether or not it's binge worthy because you had to kind of keep yourself from binging. But
Yeah,
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 it's
kind of hiding it. Yeah,
yeah,
not
and
hiding it. Yeah.
yeah, Alex Garland, he's got, I like his he's kind of developing a pattern with these tech CEOs, like with Ex Machina, you had Oscar Isaac with this very eccentric tech CEO in that movie, kind of really over the top, very interesting character. And then you have this CEO Forrest with Nick Offerman. It's sort of like the yin and yang. He's sort of like more laid back and introspective than the wild by the bootstraps of Oscar Isaac's performance in Ex Machina. But yeah, it's sort of interesting, sort of. And so my long-winded way of saying Ex Machina and DEVS is a good pairing if you wanted to watch that movie and lead into DEVS to get a real real good tech I don't know, weekend. You could binge watch the movie and the series all at once and get a very good understanding of who Alex Garland is as a writer director. But yeah, that's my 2 bits, and I do see a lot of parallels between Alex Garland and David Fincher. Love both of them. They both do technology well. They do drama extremely well. Their drama is always most engaging, and if they have a movie out or something out, I'm gonna go to them faster than anyone else
Right, right.
to
No,
check it out.
this, yeah, this is definitely, it has strong, strong, sci-fi, tissue in it.
Yeah.
As Garland is one to explore this unique uh, intersection of machine and man and fate or
Yep.
God, whatever you want to call it, providence, I guess would be a better way to put it. But
Yep.
he can do it in such a way that is completely unique and different. And again, you're seeing different aspects of it. Whether it's this or that. But I'm really I'm really interested to see what happens as I watch it, and as you should be too. But if you can't get there unless you start, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we just to tease a little bit, we this week we did our main channel video we did of The Visitor, which is a sci-fi insane thing, and then I don't know if this will all come out at the same time, but we also are going to do a flipping the pages with the sci-fi novel that we both read. So it's been an interesting sci-fi week for us. It's culminating in these videos that you'll eventually be seeing. But it's been a fun weekend. It's been fun exploring all aspects of sci-fi.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's strong, strong. The sci-fi is strong this week. Sometimes, but sometimes we'll have like a sweep of like another genre or two. But you just never
Absolutely.
know what you're going to get with the first, last, the Nerdum. But you will
Yeah.
get an answer on if it's binge-worthy if you watch it yourself, and you will
Yeah,
understand
I
it
would.
is binge-worthy.
Yes, very much binge worthy, and yeah, yeah. No, I don't know where it's filmed. Was it filmed in Seattle? It kind of got that vibe,
I
didn't it?
think I know that when I
Probably in
did.
Canada, right? Playing us.
I'm not sure exactly. I don't know where, but I know that there's a scene where the gold inside the thing, like that was like one of the most expensive things that has been built for like a TV show for like a mini series, incredibly expensive.
Oh, here we
Um,
go. It was filmed in Santa Cruz, California.
there we
So
go. Yeah, interesting.
there you
Huh.
go. So yeah, yeah, very.
Fascinating.
I got real Tech Valley vibes to it, but I guess there you go. It's California.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, do you have anything else to add or say other than like go watch it?
No, yeah, it's definitely binge worthy and worth checking out if you're into sci-fi, and even if you're not into sci-fi, you're into good dramas. Definitely check it out. If you're into just good television, great television, just check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's also good whodunit. I mean, really
Yeah,
at the heart of
absolutely.
it. I mean, and it's a little bit more than that, but yeah, it's
It's
still
a
good.
it shall I say, is it a tech noir?
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, no, it absolutely is. It has the DNA of it for sure. But
The hallmarks.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
All righty.
And I think that's it. I've been
Yep.
Mike.
And I'm Tom. Keep it sci-fi.
Yeah, we'll leave the light on for you. Damn nice.
Prebiotic.